Sing, goddess, sing of the rage that burned down the world. But before the rage, there was a wedding. Long ago, on the peaks of Mount Pelion, the gods and mortals gathered for a feast. The sea nymph Thetis was marrying the mortal king Peleus. It was meant to be a day of perfect joy. Apollo played his lyre. The muses sang. The wine flowed like nectar. But one goddess had not been invited, Eris, the goddess of discord, the lady of strife. She stood at the gates, uninvited and angry. She did not bring a weapon. She brought something far more dangerous. A single golden apple. Carved into its shining skin was one word, Callisti, to the fairest. She rolled the apple into the wedding hall. It stopped at the feet of three goddesses: Hera, the queen of heaven; Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war; Aphrodite, the goddess of love. The music stopped. The laughter died. Each goddess reached for the fruit. Each claimed it was hers. Zeus, wise and weary, refused to judge. He knew that to choose one was to make enemies of the other two. So he sent them to a shepherd boy on the slopes of Mount Ida, a prince raised in secret. His name was Paris. Imagine the scene. A mortal boy holding the golden fruit while three immortal powers bribe him. Hera offered him power. I will make you High King of all Europe and Asia. Athena offered him glory. I will make you the greatest warrior who ever lived. You will never lose a battle. Aphrodite smiled. She loosened her robe. She offered him desire. I will give you the most beautiful woman in the world. Paris was young. He did not care for power. He did not care for war. He cared for love. He handed the apple to Aphrodite. In that moment, he sealed the fate of Troy. For the most beautiful woman in the world was not free. She was Helen, and she was the queen of Sparta. Paris sailed to Sparta. Under the guise of diplomacy, he stole Helen. Some say she went willingly, touched by Aphrodite's madness. Some say she was taken by force. But when Menelaus, the king of Sparta, found his bed empty, he did not just scream. He called his brother, Agamemnon, the king of Mycenae, the lord of men. Agamemnon had waited years for an excuse to conquer the rich city of Troy. Now he had it. He sent messengers to all the kings of Greece. The oath of Tyndareus bound them. An attack on one was an attack on all. They came. Ajax the Great, the walking wall of muscle; Diomedes, the breaker of horses; Odysseus, the wily king of Ithaca, who tried to feign madness to stay home, but was tricked into coming; and the greatest of them all, Achilles, the son of the wedding couple, Peleus and Thetis. His mother had dipped him in the river Styx, making him invulnerable everywhere except his heel. He was a weapon in human form, swift-footed, godlike. But with him came a prophecy. If you stay home, you will live a long, quiet life. If you go to Troy, you will die young, but your name will live forever. Achilles chose glory. 1,000 black ships launched into the sea. The ocean turned dark with their sails. They landed on the beaches of Troy. For 9 long years, they besieged the city. They raided the villages. They died in the dust. But the great walls of Troy stood firm. And so we arrive at the 10th year, the year of the poem, the year of the rage. The 10th year begins not with a sword fight, but with sickness. The Greek camp is dying. Soldiers are vomiting blood. Funeral pyres burn day and night, filling the sky with black smoke. Why? Because Agamemnon, in his arrogance, has insulted a priest of Apollo. He captured the priest's daughter, Chryseis, and refused to give her back. The priest prayed to Apollo, and Apollo, the archer god, answered. He sat on the peaks of Olympus, darker than night. He drew his silver bow. Twang. He fired arrows of plague into the Greek camp. First, the dogs died, then the donkeys, then the men. Achilles calls a council. He stands up, his golden hair shining. "We are dying, Agamemnon," he says. "We must return the girl to appease the god." Agamemnon, eyes burning like fire, stands up. His pride is hurt. "I will give her back," the king shouts. "But I am the high king. I will not go empty-handed. If I lose my prize, I will take yours." The tent goes silent. "I will take Briseis," Agamemnon says. "The girl you captured. I will take her from your tent to show you that I am greater than you." Achilles' hand moves to his sword hilt. He is half god. He could draw his blade and kill Agamemnon right there. The fate of Greece hangs by a thread. But Athena, invisible to all but him, grabs his hair and pulls him back. "Not now," she whispers. Achilles lets go of his sword, but his eyes are cold as death. "You drunken sot," Achilles spits, "with the eyes of a dog and the heart of a deer. You never fight in the front lines. You steal the glory of better men." He throws his scepter to the ground. "Take the girl. But hear this oath. The day will come when the Greeks will die by the hundreds at the hands of Hector. You will tear your heart out in grief, wishing you had honored the best of the Achaeans. Until then, I will not fight." Achilles walks out. He goes to his tent. He sits by his black ships. He stares at the sea, and the Greek army suddenly realizes they have lost their greatest weapon. Without Achilles, the Trojans grow bold. The gates of Troy open. The Trojan army pours out onto the plain like a swarm of locusts. Leading them is Hector. Hector, the breaker of horses, the eldest son of King Priam. He fights not for glory, nor for loot. He fights to protect his wife, his baby son, and his home. He is the shield of Troy. Beside him is his brother, Paris, beautiful, wearing a leopard skin, armed with a bow. The two armies rush at each other, but before they crash, Paris, feeling brave for once, steps forward. He challenges any Greek to single combat. Menelaus, the husband he wronged, sees him. Like a lion spotting a wounded deer, Menelaus jumps from his chariot. Revenge, he thinks. Paris sees the rage in Menelaus's eyes and turns pale. He shrinks back into the Trojan ranks. Hector grabs his brother. "You pretty boy," Hector shouts. "Mad for women. You have hair like a god, but no guts. You caused this war, and now you hide, stand, and fight." Shamed, Paris agrees. A duel. Winner takes Helen. Loser dies. The war ends today. The soldiers sit down. There is hope in the air. Paris throws his spear. It hits Menelaus's shield, but bends. Menelaus throws. His spear tears through Paris's tunic, barely missing his ribs. Menelaus draws his sword and shatters it on Paris's helmet. He grabs Paris by the helmet's crest and begins to drag him towards the Greek lines to kill him. Paris is choking. The war is about to end. But the gods are watching. Aphrodite sees her favorite prince dying. In a swirl of mist and perfume, she swoops down. She snaps the helmet strap. She wraps Paris in a cloud of invisibility and whisks him away. Menelaus is left holding an empty helmet, screaming in fury. He looks around. Paris is gone. On the walls of Troy, Helen looks down. She despises Paris for his cowardice, yet she is bound to him. The truce is broken. The gods want blood. The war will not end today. With the truce broken, hell breaks loose. And since Achilles is sitting by his ships, playing his lyre and watching his friends die, a new hero must rise. Diomedes. Athena lights a magical fire around his head and shoulders. He goes berserk. This is called an aristia, a moment of godlike excellence. Diomedes does not just kill men, he attacks gods. When Aphrodite comes down to save her son Aeneas, Diomedes stabs the goddess in the hand. She screams and flees to Olympus, bleeding ichor, the gold blood of gods. Even Ares, the god of war, enters the battle. Diomedes, guided by Athena, thrusts his spear into Ares' belly. The god of war bellows with the sound of 10,000 men and flees the battlefield. But the Trojan hero Hector rallies his men. He fights like a demon. Without Achilles to stop him, Hector pushes the Greeks back across the plain, back through the ditches, back to the very edge of the sea. Night falls. The sky is lit by hundreds of Trojan campfires. They are so close that the Greeks can smell their cooking meat. The Greeks are trapped against their ships. If Hector attacks at dawn, everyone dies. Night has fallen. The Greeks are trapped. The Trojan fires are burning so close, they look like the eyes of wolves in the dark. Inside the royal tent, the great king Agamemnon is weeping. Look at him, the king of men. He is pulling his hair out. He is pacing back and forth, sobbing like a child who broke a vase. "It is over," he wails. "Zeus has tricked me. We must run away before Hector kills us all." But Diomedes stands up. "Run if you want, coward. I stay until Troy falls." Then the wise Nestor speaks. "There is only one way to save us, king. You know it. We need the weapon. We need Achilles." Agamemnon swallows his massive pride. He nods. He prepares a bribe that would buy a kingdom. 7 tripods, 10 bars of gold, 20 shiny cauldrons, 12 racehorses, and 7 beautiful women. Plus, Briseis, the girl he stole. He sends his best men to deliver the offer. Odysseus, the man who can talk a snake out of its skin. Ajax, the giant who speaks with his muscles. Phoenix, the old tutor who raised Achilles like a father. They walk along the beach to Achilles' tent. What do they find? Is Achilles sharpening his sword? Is he planning strategy? No, he is sitting on a rug, playing a silver lyre, singing songs about old heroes. He looks bored. He looks like a rock star who has quit the band. Beside him sits Patroclus, his soulmate. Listening quietly, Odysseus steps forward. He pours the wine. He uses his honeyed voice. "Achilles, my friend, the ships are dying. Hector is a maniac. He prays for morning so he can cut our throats. Agamemnon offers you everything: gold, women, power. Come back. Save us." Achilles stops playing. He looks at Odysseus with cold, dead eyes. "I hate a man who says one thing and thinks another," Achilles says. "Tell Agamemnon he can take his gifts and go to hell. He treated me like a vagrant. Why should I fight? A coward and a hero die the same death. I chose a short life for glory, but now I choose life. Tomorrow I sail home. I will grow old. I will be forgotten. And I will be happy." Ajax, the simple giant, gets angry. "Let's go, Odysseus. This man has a heart of stone. He cares more about his ego than his dying friends." They leave. Achilles picks up his lyre, but he does not play. He watches them go. Morning comes, and with it, Hector. If Achilles is a stillness, Hector is a storm. He leads the Trojans right up to the Greeks. The Greeks are terrified. They are fighting with their backs to the ocean. Hector picks up a stone, not a normal stone, a boulder that 2 modern men could not lift. He screams a prayer to Zeus and hurls it. Crash. The gates of the Greek camp shatter. Splinters fly like shrapnel. The Trojans pour in. It is a massacre. Ajax is the last line of defense. He stands on the deck of a ship, wielding a ship pike 20 feet long. He is jumping from deck to deck, stabbing Trojans like a farmer, spearing rats. He is sweating blood, but there are too many of them. Hector fights his way to the first ship. He grabs a torch. "Bring fire!" Hector screams. "Burn their way home!" He throws the torch. The dry wood catches. Black smoke rises. The Greeks look at the smoke and realize this is the end. Achilles stands by his tent. He sees the smoke rising from the ships. He slaps his thigh. So they are finally learning. But Patroclus comes running to him. Patroclus is crying. Tears are streaming down his face like a waterfall down a dark cliff. Achilles mocks him. "Why are you crying, Patroclus?" Like a little baby girl, running after her mother, pulling at her dress, begging to be picked up. Patroclus looks at him with anger, a rare, pure anger. "You are heartless," Patroclus says. "Your father was not Peleus. Your mother was not Thetis. The grey sea bore you, and the jagged cliffs. Your soul is made of rock. If you won't fight, then let me fight." Achilles frowns. "Give me your armor," Patroclus begs. "Give me your helmet with the golden horsehair. Let me lead the Myrmidons. The Trojans will think I am you. They will be terrified. They will run. I can save the fleet." Achilles thinks. His ego is satisfied. The Greeks are begging, but he doesn't want his friend to die. "Fine," Achilles says. "Take my armor, take my men, drive them from the ships." Then he grabs Patroclus by the shoulders. He looks into his eyes. "But listen to me, Patroclus. Listen closely. Do not become drunk with war. Save the ships, and then come back. Do not chase the Trojans to the walls of Troy. If you do, a god might crush you. Promise me." "I promise," Patroclus lies. Or maybe he means it. He puts on the armor, the greaves of silver, the breastplate of gold, the helmet with the terrifying crest. He picks up 2 swords. But there is one thing he cannot lift: the spear of Achilles. It is made of Pelian ash, so heavy that only Achilles can wield it. Patroclus leaves it behind, a fatal mistake. The Trojans are burning the ship of Protesilaus. Suddenly, they hear a sound, a unified shout. The Myrmidons, the ant-men, swarm out of the tents, and leading them is a figure in golden armor, a figure that moves like a god. "Achilles!" the Trojans scream. "Achilles is back!" Panic. Pure, animal panic. The Trojans who were just winning now drop their torches. They trample each other to get away. Patroclus charges. He is not a killer by nature, but the armor possesses him. He fights like a demon. He kills Pyrechmes. He kills Areilycus. He meets Sarpedon, the son of Zeus. Sarpedon is a giant of a man, but Patroclus throws his spear and pierces Sarpedon's heart. High on Olympus, Zeus wants to save his son, but Hera stops him. "If you break the rules, all gods will break the rules." So Zeus weeps. He sends a rain of blood down upon the battlefield as his son dies. The Trojans are running. The ships are saved. Patroclus stands in the open. He looks at the fleeing enemy. He looks at the walls of Troy. The glory is intoxicating. The adrenaline is a drug. He forgets the promise. He forgets Achilles. "Onward!" Patroclus screams. "To the city! We take Troy today!" He chases them. He kills 9 men in a single charge. He climbs the steep rampart of the city wall. He smashes his hands against the stone. He is climbing to his death. On the wall stands Apollo. The god is not amused. A mortal is trying to do the work of gods. Apollo does not use a weapon. He wraps himself in mist. He walks up behind Patroclus and he slaps him. He strikes Patroclus on the back with the flat of his hand. The blow is supernatural. Patroclus's eyes spin. His mind goes blank. His limbs go numb. The helmet of Achilles, which never touched the dust before, tumbles off his head and rolls in the dirt. His spear shatters in his hands. His shield strap breaks. His breastplate falls off. He stands there, naked and dazed, a confused boy in the middle of a war. Euphorbus, a young Trojan soldier, sees him. He runs up and stabs Patroclus in the back. A coward's blow. Patroclus tries to crawl away, but then a shadow falls over him. Hector sees the man wearing Achilles' armor trying to retreat. He walks over. He drives his spear deep into Patroclus' belly. Patroclus falls. The light fades. With his dying breath, Patroclus whispers, "You boast now, Hector. But it wasn't you who killed me. It was Apollo and fate. You are only the third. But hear this, you will not live long. Achilles is coming, and he will send you to the dark house of Hades." Hector laughs. "We shall see." He pulls his spear out. He puts his foot on Patroclus' chest and strips the golden armor off the body. He puts on the armor of Achilles. He does not know he is putting on his own death warrant. The battle rages over Patroclus' naked body. The Greeks finally drag it back to the ships. A messenger runs to Achilles. Achilles is sitting by his tent, worrying. Why has he not returned? The messenger, Antilochus, arrives. He is crying. Achilles, Patroclus is dead. Hector has the armor. The body is naked. Achilles does not speak. He reaches down with both hands. He grabs 2 handfuls of black ash from the fire pit. He pours the filth over his head, over his beautiful golden face, over his clean tunic. He falls face down in the dirt. He lies there, a giant sprawled in the dust. And then he lets out a cry, a sound so terrible, so inhuman, that his mother Thetis hears it at the bottom of the ocean and begins to wail. It is not the cry of a man. It is the cry of a predator that has lost its mate. The sorrow is over. The rage, the true rage, has begun. Achilles has no armor. Hector has it. So, his mother Thetis goes to the Olympian forge, to the crooked-footed god Hephaestus. "Make my son a set of armor," she begs, "for he has only a few days left to live." Hephaestus works the bellows. He throws bronze, tin, silver, and gold into the fire. He creates a shield. Not just a shield, a universe. On it, he carves the earth, the sky, and the sea. He carves 2 cities, one at peace, with weddings and dancing, one at war, with ambushes and death. He carves farmers plowing, lions hunting bulls, and the great ocean river encircling it all. He makes the shield heavy, massive, shining like the moon. Thetis brings it to Achilles at dawn. The armor lies on the ground, clanging loudly. The Myrmidons, hardened killers, are terrified of it. They cover their eyes because the armor shines with a divine, blinding light. Only Achilles can look at it. His eyes glow like furnace fire. He puts on the greaves, the breastplate, the helmet with the golden horsehair crest. He picks up his father's spear, the heavy Pelian ash that no other man can lift. He walks out. He does not eat. He does not drink. He feeds only on grief. He screams so loud that the Trojan horses, hearing him from miles away, turn around in fear. The reaper has arrived. Achilles drives his chariot into the battle. He is not fighting, he is harvesting. He splits the Trojan army in 2. Half run to the city, half are pushed into the river Scamander, Xanthus. Achilles jumps into the river. He kills Lycaon, a prince who begs for mercy. "Die, my friend," Achilles whispers coldly. "Patroclus died, and he was a better man than you. Look at me. Even I, a son of a goddess, will die soon. So accept your fate." He kills so many men that the river turns red. The corpses clog the channels. The water cannot flow to the sea. The river god, Scamander, wakes up. He is angry. A mortal is choking his waters with filth. The river rises. A massive wave, shaped like a bull, crashes down on Achilles. It is man versus nature. The water drags Achilles down. It beats against his shield. Achilles screams, trying to run, but the mud holds him. The river god roars, "I will bury you under the silt." Achilles is about to drown, but Hera sees this. She calls her son, Hephaestus. "Fight water with fire." The god of fire descends. He lights the trees on the riverbank. He boils the water. Imagine the horror. The river is boiling. The eels and fish burn. The river god begs for mercy. "Stop! I will stop fighting Achilles. Just stop the fire." Achilles climbs out of the mud, steaming and furious. Nothing can stop him. Not men. Not gods. Not nature. He runs towards the walls of Troy. The Trojan army is safe inside the walls. The heavy gates are barred. All except one man, Hector. He stands alone outside the Scaean gates. His parents, Priam and Hecuba, lean over the wall, weeping, tearing their clothes. "Come inside, my son," Priam screams. "Do not face this monster alone." But Hector's pride holds him. He lost the army yesterday. He cannot face the citizens if he runs now. He waits. Then he sees him. Achilles is coming across the plain. His armor shines like a dangerous star, like the dog star that brings fever and death. And in that moment, Hector, the bravest man in Troy, the breaker of horses, breaks. Terror seizes him. He turns and runs. Achilles chases him. It is a nightmare scene. The fastest man alive chasing the second fastest. They run around the walls of the city. Once, twice, 3 times. The gods watch from above like spectators at a sport. Apollo tries to help Hector, giving him breath. But Zeus holds up his golden scales. He puts Hector's life on one side, Achilles on the other. Hector's side sinks down to the underworld. Apollo sees this. He abandons Hector. Even a god cannot fight fate. Athena comes down. She is cruel. She disguises herself as Deiphobus, Hector's favorite brother. She runs next to Hector. "Brother, let us stand and fight him together." Hector stops. He is relieved. He is not alone. He turns to face Achilles. They stand face to face. Hector speaks. "I will run no more, son of Peleus, but let us make a pact before the gods. If I kill you, I will strip your armor, but return your body to your friends. Do the same for me." Achilles looks at him with a look that freezes the blood. "Do not talk to me of pacts, Hector. There are no pacts between lions and men. There are no pacts between wolves and sheep. One of us will die." Achilles throws his spear. Hector ducks. Hector throws his spear. It hits Achilles' divine shield, but bounces off. Hector turns to his brother Deiphobus for a second spear. "Brother, give me..." But Deiphobus is gone. Hector looks around. The plain is empty. He realizes the truth. "Alas, the gods have called me to my death. Athena tricked me, but I will not die without a struggle." He draws his sword and charges. Achilles charges. He knows the armor Hector is wearing. It is his own old armor. He knows the weak point, a small gap at the neck. Achilles drives his spear into Hector's throat. Hector falls in the dust. He cannot speak loudly, but he whispers, "I beg you, by your soul, do not let the dogs eat me. Take the gold my father will offer." Achilles stands over him. "Die, dog. If I could, I would carve you up and eat you raw myself for what you did to Patroclus. No one will ransom you. The dogs and birds will have you all." Hector gives a final gasp. "Be careful. My death is a curse upon you. Paris and Apollo will kill you at the Scaean gates." Then the soul of Hector flies to Hades, weeping for his youth and strength. The Greeks run up. They stab Hector's dead body. They laugh. "He is softer to handle now than when he burned our ships." But Achilles is not done. The rage is not satisfied. He pierces Hector's ankles. He threads a leather strap through them. He ties the body to the back of his chariot. He whips his horses, and he drags the body of the Prince of Troy through the dust. Hector's beautiful black hair trails in the dirt. His head bounces against the stones. On the walls, Hecuba screams. Andromache, his wife, faints, dropping her weaving. Achilles drags him all the way back to the ships. He leaves him face down, in the dust next to Patroclus's bier. "Here, Patroclus," he whispers, "I have brought him." 12 days pass. The gods are disgusted. Achilles is abusing the body every day, but Apollo protects the flesh from rotting. Zeus sends a message. "Enough. Give the body back." That night, an old man walks through the Greek camp alone. It is Priam, the king of Troy. Hermes puts the guards to sleep so the king can pass. Priam enters Achilles' tent. Achilles is sitting, eating dinner. He looks up, surprised. The old king kneels. He reaches out. He takes the hands of Achilles, the terrible, man-killing hands that murdered so many of his sons, and he kisses them. Priam speaks. "Think of your father, Achilles. He is old, like me. He waits for you, but at least he has hope that you are alive. I have no hope. I had 50 sons. Most are dead, and the best of them, Hector, you killed him. I have come to buy him back. Fear the gods, Achilles, and pity me. I have done what no other man on earth has done. I have kissed the hands of the man who killed my children." Achilles looks at the old man. Something breaks in his chest. The ice melts. He thinks of his own father, Peleus, whom he will never see again. He thinks of Patroclus. Achilles begins to weep. Priam weeps for Hector. The sound of their grief fills the tent. The killer and the father, united by death. Achilles stands up. He lifts the old man gently. "Stop crying, old king. Grief does not bring back the dead." He orders his women to wash Hector's body and wrap it in white linen, so Priam won't see the wounds and get angry. He gives the body to Priam. "I will give you a truce," Achilles says. "How many days do you need for the funeral?" 11 days, Priam says. "On the 12th, we fight." "So be it," Achilles says. They shake hands. Priam rides back to Troy with his son. The rage of Achilles is finally over. Hector is dead, but the war does not end. Achilles is now a force of nature. He kills Memnon, the Dawn King. He kills Penthesilea, the Amazon Queen. He pushes the Trojans all the way back to the Scaean gates. He is about to break through. He is about to defy fate and take the city by force. But the gods intervene. Apollo stands on the tower of Troy. He sees the beast that Achilles has become. Down below, Paris, the coward, the lover, the man who started it all, is cowering with his bow. Apollo whispers to him, "Aim your arrow, I will guide it." Paris pulls the string. He looses a shot. It is not a mighty throw. It is a quiet, whistling death. The arrow flies. It does not hit the heart or the head. It strikes the one place where Achilles is mortal, the heel, the spot where his mother held him when she dipped him in the river Styx. Achilles stops. He looks at his foot. He tries to pull the arrow out, but the poison of fate is already in his veins. The greatest warrior who ever lived crashes to the ground like a fallen tower. He roars at the gods. He curses the war, and then he dies. The Greeks fight a terrible battle just to retrieve his body. They mix his ashes with those of Patroclus in a golden urn. The two souls are united forever. But with Achilles dead, the Greek hope dies too. Force has failed. Who gets the divine armor of Achilles? It should go to the best remaining warrior. That is Ajax the Great, the man who held the ships. But Odysseus, the man of words, argues for it. He convinces the judges that intelligence is better than strength. Odysseus wins the armor. Ajax goes mad with grief and shame. Athena clouds his mind. He thinks a flock of sheep are the Greek generals. He slaughters the sheep, thinking he is killing Agamemnon and Odysseus. When he wakes up and sees what he has done, standing in a field of dead livestock covered in blood, he cannot bear the shame. He walks to the beach. He plants his sword in the sand. Point up, he prays to Zeus for a quick death, and he falls upon his sword. The strongest shield of Greece is gone. The army is leaderless, tired, and desperate. 10 years. The walls have not fallen. The heroes are dead. Odysseus looks at the walls of Troy. If we cannot break them, he thinks, we must get them to open the door for us. He calls upon Epeus, the master carpenter. They cut down the sacred cornel trees of Mount Ida. They build a monster, a massive horse made of wood, hollow inside, tall as a tower. On its side, they carve a lie. For their return home, the Greeks dedicate this offering to Athena. The Greeks burn their tents. They board their ships and sail away, but not far. They hide behind the island of Tenedos. They leave the horse on the beach, and they leave one man behind, Sinon, a spy with a tongue of silver. The Trojans wake up. The siege is over. The Greeks are gone. They rush to the beach. They see the horse. Some say, burn it, throw it in the sea. Others say, it is holy. If we harm it, Athena will destroy us. Bring it into the city. Laocoon the priest screams, do not trust the Greeks, even when they bring gifts. He throws a spear at the horse. It echoes, hollow. But the gods want Troy to fall. 2 giant sea serpents rise from the deep. They crush Laocoon and his sons. The Trojans see this as a sign. Athena is angry. We must bring the horse in. They tear down a part of their own unbreachable wall to fit the beast inside. They drag their death into the heart of the city. Night falls. Troy is drunk. They dance. They feast. For the first time in 10 years, they sleep without guards. Silence settles over the city. On the beach, Sinon lights a beacon fire to signal the fleet. Inside the city, underneath the wooden belly of the horse, a trapdoor opens. A rope drops. Odysseus climbs down. Then Menelaus. Then Neoptolemus, the terrifying son of Achilles. They are silent as shadows. They creep to the gates. They kill the sleeping guards. They open the gates of Troy. And the Greek army, which had silently returned, pours in like a black tide. This is not a battle. This is a butchery. Men are killed in their beds. Women are dragged by their hair. The streets run slick with blood. The city is set on fire. The flames rise so high they light up the sea. Neoptolemus, the son of Achilles, is a monster. He breaks into the royal palace. King Priam, the old man who kissed Achilles' hands, takes refuge at the altar of Zeus. Neoptolemus does not care. He drags the old king through the blood of his own son. He slaughters Priam on the holy altar. The king of Troy dies like a sacrificed animal. Menelaus finds Helen. He draws his sword to kill her for 10 years of misery. But she drops her robe. She looks at him with those eyes, the eyes that launched 1,000 ships. The sword falls from his hand. He cannot do it. He takes her back. The cause of the war survives, while the innocent die. Morning comes. Troy is a smoking ruin. The men are dead. The women are gathered as slaves. The cruelty is complete. The Greeks load their ships with gold and slaves. They set sail. Behind them, the greatest city in Asia is nothing but a heap of ash and bone. Agamemnon sails home to a red carpet and a knife in his bath, held by his wife. Odysseus sails into a storm that will keep him lost for another 10 years. Aeneas, a Trojan prince, escapes the fire with his father on his back, destined to found a new Troy called Rome. But as the ships disappear over the horizon, only the wind remains, blowing over the empty plain, singing the song of the rage that burned the world. And the silence is absolute. The ships have sailed. The fires of Troy have finally burned themselves out. The great walls, which stood for centuries, are now just stones in the grass. The shouting is over. The anger is forgotten. Achilles, Hector, Helen, they are no longer enemies. They are no longer kings or queens. They are just names, whispered by the wind, shadows drifting in the dust. The rage that shook the earth has faded into the silence of history. You are far away from the spear and the shield. You are far away from the smoke. Here, there is only the sea, eternal, patient, washing over the sands of time. It washes away the pain. It washes away the glory, leaving only peace. Let the heroes sleep. Let the past dissolve into the mist. You are safe here. You are still. The story is done. There is only this moment, quiet, heavy, calm. Let your breathing slow down, deep and slow. Drift away on the dark wine sea. Good night.